Now I am going to review Galactic Guardians, and as you can see from the cover, there is a lot of characters in this, but as you'll also see, where is Rocky Raccoon? Where is Dax? Where is Gonorrhea? Where's Chris Pratt? Where's the tree one? I mean, it's stupid. They have crammed all these characters into the comic, but they have forgotten to include the actual Galactic Guardians. And I'll tell you what, this whole comic, it is a mess. There's too much going on in it. It is an Infinity Wars crossover, which means that this happens during the film. And we all know this very angry man, quite bad art. He is very angry though. He's probably very angry because his face is so deformed. And the plot of this one is, the Avengers are off in space fighting fannies in Infinity Wars. So when they're away, they have left their mansion undefended. So Dan Slott, back before he was a writer, when he was just a character, he has assembled a new Masters of Evil to invade and take over the mansion. But unfortunately for him, the Galactic Guardians were there. So they are now protecting the mansion. And I think it says something about Dan Slott that even back when he was just a guest star, all his ideas were just rehashes, because the whole assembling a Masters of Evil to invade Avengers Mansion that had been done before by Baron Zero, and far more successfully, I will add. And another thing, this character, right, he is called Puff Adder. That is disgraceful, that. I mean, you're not even meant to call them Puffs anymore. And we also have this character who is hands down my favourite. He is clearly a Captain America fan. He is in cosplay as Captain America, and he has even got a shield. But if you look, the homophobe, his acid isn't cutting through the shield. So this is like a good shield. Like, this isn't one of the cheap ones you get in the supermarket, one of like the little plastic ones. This one's actually good because it's standing up to acid. So like, if he goes to a convention, I reckon he might actually win like a cosplay competition or a contest or something. This is really good. I think the shield, he's made a few mistakes, like Captain America, he doesn't have base sleeves and he also has a mask. But the shield, I think the shield will win him a lot of points. Then we have got a subplot with the Starman. And the Starman, he shares a body with his sister, who is also his wife. And they are fighting over control of the body. And it's almost like a Me Too waiting to happen. And he's quite demeaning and derogatory towards women. He's like, curse you and your feminine wiles. That is no way to talk about women. Then we start getting the Infinity Wars stuff, and it is very poorly explained. By which I mean it is not explained at all. There is loads of duplicates starting to show up, loads of copies of people, and they're like monsters and stuff. And what it is in Infinity Wars, the baddie made loads of duplicates, and they wanted to knock out and then absorb the original and replace them. This comic doesn't explain that at all, but then loads of the duplicates start showing up, and this bit's good. We see the Captain America man, he beats up the homophobe, and then the rest of the comic is basically just fighting duplicates, and whenever they beat the duplicate, another one shows up, and it's just really poorly explained, and it's never quite exciting, like the whole thing. Like, there's a waste of a page, because this isn't one of the Galactic Guardians, this is one of the Masters of Evil, and he's a whole page just devoted to him fighting his duplicate. And another problem with this is part 2 of a 2-part story, and between part 1 and part 2, they've forgotten like loads of characters, because Dan Slott's Masters of Evil, there was like 4 or 5 other members who don't appear in this one at all. And the whole thing now is just nonsense, kind of fighting with duplicates, and then we cut back to Starman and his sister, who is also his wife, and the sister, who is also his wife, takes over the body, and then they've defeated all the duplicates, but some more show up, and it's here where Dan Slott realises he has to team up with the Galactic Guardians to fight all the duplicates, and then we just have loads of bits of them fighting duplicates, and indeterminate amount of time later, they're all gone and none of them are coming, so it's all over happy. And Dan Slott, he's like, oh, now that they're defeated, we can get back to my original goal, which is defeating you and taking over this mansion. But then his Masters of Evil, they're like, no, they helped us out. Let's fight you instead. He's like, oh no, don't do that. And he runs away like the fat little coward he is. And we end with this like little goofy joke thing. All the fighting is over, and Alfred, he's like, oh, you're going to help us tidy this up, aren't you? And they do, and yeah, that is cute and nice. But this comic, it is a mess. I get the idea that we're going for. I think this was meant to be fun. This is meant to be like a big fight issue. But the problem is, there is two stories at war here. There is the Galactic Guardians fighting the Masters of Evil. And then there's just this intrusive second story, which is the Infinity Wars bit with all the duplicates. And the duplicates, nothing in here is interesting about that. They're not explained. They're barely a threat. Like the Masters of Evil, they're barely a threat because they're led by fucking Dan Slott, who is useless. But like at least there's a straightforward story there of hero versus villain. Whereas when you throw the duplicates into the mix, they're not set up. They're not given any character. They're not really. It's just too much going on in a comic. This. I don't really recommend this. Maybe if you have part one, but part one will only provide more negatives towards this one, such as the characters that go missing and the art in part one. The art in part one is even worse. Like, that is as bad as the art in this issue gets. But the art in part one, it is awful. I've got to get part one out to review soon. Anyway, I rate this comic not very high. I'm only going to give it 7 thumbs up.